I just wanna get your attention. Hey girl. I really wanna be all up in your head. Yeah, cause what I got you gon' wanna get some. Yeah, but girl, that's only if you ain't scared.
Hey guys, I went to the library today and picked up some goodies. For some of you who already stuttering. For some of you who don't know, I go to the library about once every 3 months and pick up a boatload of books and then try to read them within that 3-month span. I basically just renew the heck out of them and hope that nobody else has put a hold on them. But yeah, I just want to show you the books that I picked up for the next 3 months that hopefully I will get to them this summer. Let's get started. The first book I picked up is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han, and this is a sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before, which I do own. Hold on, let me grab it from my shelf. Stretch. So here's book 1 to All the Boys I've Loved Before, which I own and I have not read yet, and I want to read it this summer. And I saw the sequel at the library and I figured, why not? Because I'm sort of cutting back on buying books this summer, and yeah, I just, you know, it seemed economical and like a smart choice. So I picked up the sequel, and hopefully I will have a chance to get to it within the month of June. So these are at the top of my TBR. Next, I picked up Star-Crossed by Josephine Angelini, and this is book 1 in the Star-Crossed series. I believe there are 3 books in this series, and I don't know what this is about, but I've heard that it is a retelling of the Helen of Troy myth, and I've never read a retelling of that myth, and I really enjoyed the story of Helen of Troy, so I think this will be a really fascinating read. I've heard good things about this, and I've never read anything else by Josephine Angelini, even though I do have one of her other books in her new series that she's starting writing, I think Trial by Fire. I think that's what it's called, her newest release. So I want to definitely start reading her books in the order of publication, so I'm going to start with this series. I also have Goddess, which is book 3, so I'm basically just missing book 2. And the way the library works, they only had books 1 and 3, so I went ahead and put a hold on book 2 so that by the time I'm done reading book 1, I will be able to go pick up book 2, and then I have book 3 here waiting. And it looks like these are a young adult fantasy series. I picked up The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. I've never read this series. This is a children's series, and I believe it's comprised of, I want to say 3 or 4 novels. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. Yes, this is book 1 in the His Dark Material series, which includes this first book, The Golden Compass, and then there's also The Subtle Knife and The Amber Spyglass. So I've heard really good things about this novel, mostly from my friend Brie May here on BookTube. So I wanted to check it out for myself, and I'm really curious about this female protagonist. I've heard she's fabulous, and you guys know I love children's literature. There is a film of this as well, so I want to read this and then watch the film and have the full complete experience. Next up, I picked up a young adult contemporary novel that is perfect for summer, and that is Huntley Fitzpatrick's What I Thought Was True. And I read her first novel, My Life Next Door, earlier this year, either early this year or late last year on my Kindle. I got it from my library as well on my e-reader, and I really enjoyed it. It really took me by surprise. I thought it was fabulous, and it was a 4-star read for me. So I'm curious to continue on with her books and see, you know, where she's going with her writing and all that. This one, it seems perfect for summer. I believe there is a romance in here, and it takes place during the summer by the beach, so I'm really looking forward to this one. From the acclaimed author of My Life Next Door comes a push you, pull me romance, full of expectation and regret, humor, and hard questions. Next up is another summery read, and this is Open Road Summer by Emery Lord. This is her debut novel, and it is also a road trip book, which is perfect for summertime. Right here it's blurbed by an author by the name of Elizabeth Eulberg, author of Better Off Friends. Never heard of her or that book. But she said, this rock star debut will have you cheering for an encore. And obviously there's a romance, as you can tell by this cover, and open road summer. I mean, two best friends, two broken hearts, one summer that will change everything. Riding top down with Reagan beneath the summer sky, and I swear this car could almost fly. Sunglasses, a country song, and a steering wheel drummer. Y'all, turn up the volume. It's an open road summer. Oh my gosh, this seems so cute. Like Taylor Swift circa 2008. Ah, adorable. Next up, I picked up the growingly popular Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews, and I'm really intrigued by this now because the film is coming out soon. The trailer looks amazing. I cannot wait to see it, and I definitely want to read the novel first, as you know, we book lovers, that's how we roll. We always want to read the book first. And I've heard really good things about the book as well. I've heard mixed things actually. Some people it's not their cup of tea, and some people love it. It's supposed to be really, really funny. It's actually interesting that it's funny because of the topic of the novel, and it deals with a girl who has a fatal disease, and she is befriended by this guy, these two boys, and one of the boys, I believe the main male protagonist of this novel, his mother basically forces him to befriend her because, you know, she's dying and all that. There's like a lot of pity for her, and his mother's kind of like, come on, be her friend type of thing. My name is Greg Gaines. I am 17. I'm the one who wrote this book. My physical appearance is unsatisfactory, and there is probably a fungus eating my brain. I'm not even sure I'm human. Earl. Earl Jackson is the only person who is even sort of my friend. We make mediocre films together. Werner Herzog is our biggest influence. Earl is generally filled with violent rage. Dying Girl. During my senior year, my mom forced me to become friends with a girl who had cancer. This brought about the destruction of my entire life. So yeah, this looks really quirky and fun, and the film looks absolutely amazing, so I cannot wait to read this and then go watch the movie. Next up, I picked up Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson, and what really pushed me to pick this up is Sam from Thoughts on Tomes just did a review on this. I will link that review down below in the description bar. It is a spoiler-free review, and she just really intrigued me about this novel. I've been hearing low-key buzz about it on BookTube for a couple years now, and I am intrigued. This is about Tiger Lily from this Peter Pan story, and as we know, Tiger Lily and Peter do not end up together in the end, so I'm sure this is a tearjerker. I believe Sam in her review also said there are triggers in here for rape and abuse as well, so warning. I don't know anything else about the plot, but I've heard that the prose is beautiful and just generally the writing is really beautiful, so I cannot wait to read this. This is basically the story of Peter Pan seen through Tiger Lily's eyes. Then I went Jodi Lynn Anderson crazy and picked up one of her series, and this is, honestly, I don't know what the name of the series is, but book 1 is Peaches, book 2 is The Secret of Peaches, and book 3 is Love and Peaches. And honestly, I vaguely remember reading these when I was like, I don't know, like in high school. I think I read this in high school, like towards the end of my high school career, but I never continued on with the rest of the series. And this is about a group of girls. It says, this summer at Darlington Orchard, 3 very different girls will discover the secret to finding the right boy, making the truest of friends, and picking the perfect Georgia peach. But at the start of the season, things aren't so peachy. So yeah, I definitely think I read this like towards the second half of my senior year of high school, and I just never continued on with the rest of them for whatever reason. And it follows the 3 girls throughout the series. We see things from 3 different perspectives, and it's, you know, 3 different storylines, but they're all connected because these girls become close friends. And I know it's also blurbed by Anne Brashers, who wrote the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series, and right here at the bottom she says, Peaches is a sweet and delicious read. So I'm really excited. I cannot wait to get to these, and I will definitely be doing a non-spoiler series review when I am finished with these, and I will let you guys know what I think. By the way, I have a lot of book reviews coming. I have them filmed. I'm just trying to edit them, and I will upload them, and they will explode onto your subscription screen very soon. Next up is another young adult, and this is Golden by Jessie Kirby. And right here it says, nothing gold can stay. 17-year-old Parker Frost may be a distant relative of poet Robert Frost, but she has never taken the road less traveled. Valedictorian and quintessential good girl, she's about to graduate high school without ever having kissed her crush or broken the rules. So when fate drops a mystery in her lap, one that might be the key to uncovering the truth about a town tragedy, she decides to take a chance. So this was published in 2013, and this is actually Jessie Kirby's third novel. And that's all I know, just that little blurb that I read. But I've heard that it's written beautifully, and I've heard mixed things because I took a brief glance at the Goodreads reviews. But I'm intrigued, and you know, it's fairly short. It's not too long. The cover is really mesmerizing, and I will definitely be able to read this probably in one sitting if it really catches my attention, which I hope I do. I hope I love it. Next is a novel that I have been intrigued by ever since I first heard of it, and this is Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang. And this is another one that I've heard mixed things. Either people rave about this book and love it, or people don't really like it so much and it's not so much their cup of tea. But I believe this is about a girl who basically tries to kill herself by driving her car off a cliff or something. You know, she's suffering from depression, clearly, and things just come to her head and she drives her car off a cliff. But I believe she survives. So I think this novel is about the aftermath of that. Again, I'm not completely sure, but I've just heard snippets here and there. I've heard, you know, low-key buzz about it, and I'm intrigued, and I really am excited to read this. Inertia, force, mass, gravity, velocity, acceleration, cause and effect. Liz Emerson doesn't understand any of it, but I do. I understand how we fall, where we fall, why we fall. I understand her sadness and loneliness and silence, her shattered heart. It doesn't have to be this way, does it? It wasn't always this way, was it? Stay alive, Liz Emerson. Stay alive. She would be an object in motion that would stay in motion, even if it meant flattening everything in her path. There are no accidents. Oh yeah, baby. Next up is a cute little pretty book, and this is Keeping the Castle by Patrice Kindle. I think that's how you pronounce that. Not 100% sure. I picked this up because of the blurb. I didn't read the flat copy, but the blurb caught my attention, as did the cover. I love me some castles, y'all. Love me some castles. And it says, fans of I Capture the Castle will love this delicious confection. And I just picked up a copy of I Capture the Castle. I haven't read it yet, but I will. And this definitely intrigued me with that blurb. It says, a book as frothy and fizzy and light as a champagne cocktail. Think I Capture the Castle meets Pride and Prejudice. How could I not? Take one Austinian heroine in desperate financial straits. Put her in a crumbling castle. Give her 2 evil stepsisters and some very unsuitable suitors. Make it funny. Patrice Kindle's Keeping the Castle is an absolute charmer. And that was blurbed by Karen Joy Fowler, who wrote the Jane Austen book club. So yeah, this looks like a cute little charming fun read, and I love, love, love the mixture of those two. The mixture of Pride and Prejudice and I Capture the Castle. It sounds really delightful. Next up, I picked up a classic, and that is William Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury. And I've heard a lot about this novel over the years, never read it, don't even really know what it's about. I'm not familiar with William Faulkner's writing at all, but that's why I picked up this book, because I want to get familiar, you feel me? And this is one of the greatest, okay, can't really read it because there's a sticker right there. Good times. This is the tragic story of the Compson family, featuring some of the most memorable characters in American literature. Beautiful, rebellious Caddy, the man-child Benji, haunted, neurotic Quentin, Jason the brutal cynic, and Dilsey, their black servant. Okay. And I know he writes like gothic southern fiction, right? Isn't that what he does? I think. I also picked up Faulkner's Light in August, and this one, let's see, again another cast of memorable characters: guileless, dauntless Lena Grove in search for the father of her unborn child, Reverend Gail Hightower, who is plagued by visions of Confederate horsemen, and Joe Christmas, a desperate, enigmatic drifter consumed by his mixed ancestry. Oh, it's a summer 2005 selection of the Oprah's Book Club. Fascinating. But yeah, I hope I love you, Faulkner. I've heard things, good things. I hope I agree. And last but not least, I picked up a graphic novel, and that is The Last Man, Volume 1. Yay! This is by Brian K. Vaughan, Pia Guerra, and Jose Marzan Jr. And for some of y'all who saw my last library haul, which I will link in this video right now, and that is my February, can't talk, my February Library Lovin' haul, I picked up The Last Man, but I realized that I had picked up Volume 4. It was so frustrating. So I tried to track down Volume 1, but it was checked out for forever. So I had to finally just return it to the... So I returned it to the library unread, which was such a tragedy. And finally, when I went in today, I was so pleased to see Volume 1 there. And of course, they were missing Volume 2, but get this, they had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way through 10. I don't understand it. But I just decided to just get Volume 1 and see if I like it, because I didn't want to try and get all the other volumes and then try and track down Volume 2 and then read this and not like it. But I doubt it. I doubt I'm not going to like it. I think I'm actually going to love it. I have been browsing through it and just kind of taking sneak peeks at the artwork. And I think I'm really going to love it. I think I'm going to be obsessed with it. So, yeah. And for those of you who don't know, this graphic novel series is about a man who is basically the last man on Earth. There's some kind of disease that wipes out all the other men, and he's the only one that survives. Him and this monkey. And, yeah, so they're the only males left. There are all these really amazing female characters in here, which is one of the main things that really drew me to this series. And I want to try and read this series before I read the Saga series, which is also by Brian K. Vaughan, but that one's illustrated by Fiona Staples. So I definitely want to get to that one, but I want to start here. I think this is a good place. Ooh, this artwork is everything, everything and more. Cannot wait. And that's it. That is everything that I got from the library. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please thumbs up this video if you liked it. Comment if you choose to. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye, guys.